Do you even have the capability to shoot it down?
David, we have, as you know, we have the capability to do a lot of things, but we don't have a plan to shoot it down as we speak.
Corporation-case-number RR 385-460-312 US. In September of 2020, multiple filings of the corporation case number as well as the duties for the security of the borders and airways of the former United States that ended in 1999 was filed with each branch of the U.S. military at the Pentagon. In the duties were for the security of the citizens of of our land and to secure our borders. Well, it's with a heavy heart that I bring this transmission to you. I have just learned that there's an apparent rocket tumbling out of space from China's space program, tumbling towards the Earth. I have no verification, only the forensics that I have witnessed, that I've shown you, of the U.S. military speaking.
What is the latest estimate of when and where this Chinese rocket will come down? Do you consider it a potential threat to the U.S., and do you have a plan for shooting it down if necessary?
Thanks, David. The latest estimates that I've seen is somewhere between the 8th and 9th, and the experts are still working on that. At this point, we don't have a plan to shoot the rocket down. We're hopeful that it will land in a place where it won't harm anyone, hopefully in the ocean or someplace like that.
Do you even have the capability to shoot it down?
David, we have, as you know, we have the capability to do a lot of things, but we don't have a plan to shoot it down as we speak.
And again, let me clarify. In their speaking, they identify that they have no plan. Citizens of the world, they cannot have a plan. They all have birth certificates. They don't have a function anymore. People with birth certificates don't have a function to start thinking. That's not their qualifications anymore, because the birth certificate system on planet Earth was taken down by me here in the United States in 1999 and globally at the Universal Postal Union in 2001. Which means anyone with a birth certificate doesn't have the authorization to think, because their ability to identify a fact is no longer on the table, because they're derelict in their function to identify themselves. So when I hear vessels speaking at the Pentagon, I can only identify them as a vessel because their ability to give closure on thinking is no longer there, because they ceased to exist in 1999. All current military, U.S. military, as well as Chinese and Russian military personnel worldwide, register with their country's post office, and their country's post office then gives them a postal registration number. They then take that into their military respective branches, the people do, and enter into their branches for their countries. It is the post office system of the world that runs the wars and runs the war machines globally from the Universal Postal Union's headquarters, which I disqualified in 2001. The reason I'm bringing you this transmission is we have a situation of public safety that may or may not be true. I have no way to verify because I have not seen forensically a vessel falling from space to Earth, and I don't know if this is even a true story or if this is more fake news. I have no way to verify that. But if it is true that there is a vessel that has been lost by the Chinese military and is out of control, falling towards planet Earth, it is the U.S. military's job, if it comes into our space, to safeguard the security of the citizens here and shoot it down. The good news is they can send the bill to Chinese Post, because the China Post has the same paperwork that was served on September 17th. They were also served the paperwork simultaneously. They know, the Chinese military, that they have no jurisdiction in the now space domain.
I think this speaks to the fact that for those of us who operate in the space domain, that there is a requirement, there should be a requirement to operate in a safe and thoughtful mode.
For those of us who function in the now space domain, let me give you closure. You've seen some of my forensics here. I am the Global-Commander-in-Chief, Russell-J. Gould of the now space domain. The functions of billing China, if the U.S. military has to shoot this vessel out to safeguard the security of the citizens within our borders, that's a whole nother story. That's not what my concern is now. My concern is for the safety of the citizens that are currently here in the former states, that there's an apparent vessel falling down from space. The manifest that took that vessel up to space was not logged through my postal system. I have no record. It's not on my desk. I have no log and journal of that. Thus, I must make a claim that the manifest is using fictitious grammar by the Chinese space program. Because the space program itself moves vessels from point A to point B, the fee for freight has not been I have not taken the fee for freight from the Chinese Post, from China Post. Therefore, it's a derelict vessel without ship's papers, with no identity to make a claim for such a vessel falling. Thus, if it comes into the space of the former borders of the United States, the U.S. military has the authorizations and the credentialing to shoot it down and simultaneously bill the Chinese Post. And as those in the U.S. military, you guys know me as the Paymaster-General and Treasurer and Comptroller of the Global-Currencies. And I can give you closure on those techniques, on the billing methods, but I'm not going to air that on airways, because for the last 12 years, it's been my job to keep the central banking systems dumbed down because of this set on finances that they're trying to thwart the now space domain and trespass with fictitious grammar into our now space domain. That is not what this now space domain is. It's a sense of accountability. And so if a country such as China chooses to shoot rockets into space, they have to be held accountable for the safety of that vessel as it moves from point A to point B. If they lose control of their vessel, it is the duty of the U.S. military, because they don't have a plan, and now I'm giving you your command, I'm giving your plan, is to safeguard the citizens of this country. It is your duty. If you're not going to make a choice because you don't have the ability to think, so I'm going to think for you, by your own confession, you have no plan, and I'm cool with that. But what I don't appreciate, and no one really likes to look at, is your smug smiles, knowing that you can do something and you make a choice not to.
Do you consider it a potential threat?
Thanks, David.
This is very dangerous thinking, and anybody who sees these people that are on this screen, on this video, consider them traitors to the country, consider them traitors to the people, and they must be dealt with. Where are these supposed Navy-SEALs? Where are these supposed badasses? These guys, these Army Rangers, this Space Force with no accountability, letting vessels fall in and out of our free space. Where are these badasses at? Where are you at? Who's coming with the claim of the life to help give direction to these derelict vessels who don't have claims of the life, who are at the Pentagon, who need to be told what to do because they can't think? You know, it's a continuation of a plan that I've seen with former generals that I've had to court-martial, such as General Flynn, who have no plan. This is a consistent theme towards the people of the world that the generals, for some reason, For the last 30 years, there's not one general in the former United States that stood up for the borders of our country. Well, you don't have to because there are no borders anymore. I do get that. But you have a public fiduciary accountability to the people that are here to keep our borders secure, whether you like it or not. Now, I do comprehend that you can't do any thinking. I get that because of your birth certificate system, that you don't have authorization to think anymore. But as former soldiers get the claims of the life and go back into the military and give you directions, you have to comply as a vessel. You don't have the capacity to say no because you can't think. Nobody told you to start thinking again, which is really exciting for the citizens and the soldiers that have claims of the life, can now go back into the military and tell those vessels to keep our airways safe, keep the citizens of this great land safe, secure our borders. So for the citizens with claims of the life that are former soldiers, this transmission is for the U.S. military. This is a direct command to make sure that none of the vessels and debris flying through space from China come into our airspace and harm or damage the citizens that are within our great states. For the former soldiers that have claims of the life now, that still love the states and still love our beautiful land and who do not want it to get damaged, please contact me and I will go with you if you lack the technical skills on how to articulate Now Space Domain Command, which I have a galactic system in place for the free space and for the isotopes of Now Space positioning. For the current soldiers that have claims to the life within the U.S. military and the ex-soldiers who have just got claims of life and are concerned about this, please contact me, come to me, and we will go together. It's going to take a lot of courage on your part because the technical skills on some of the areas that we are in the Now Space domain are areas where the U.S. military lacks the authorization to be in. And so creating a bridge to allow them to come into that to safeguard your family in their Now Space domain is what I'm going to help you do. We've got to grab this, and we've got to grab this quick. This is an emergency broadcast here, and whether this information is true about this foreign vessel falling from the sky, I'm not sure. But please contact me because I am concerned, and let's verify this. Let's go verify this together. Let's work together as a team so we can safeguard our borders and our states and the people within. There are many concerns why I'm not working direct with the U.S. military. Every time I show up to the military bases, it's such a show. It's a theater between the clowns from the CIA, the fumbling, bumbling idiots from the FBI, and the absolute clowns from the investigation teams from the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, who stand on the sideline and systematically act like the United States didn't come out of bankruptcy in 1999. These people are acting like there's actual presidents for the last 20 years. Give me a break. It's time for the theatrics to come off. Time for you to step out of your wrong thinking and step into a paradigm so we can work in concert, so we can get this accomplished. Please contact lastflagstanding.com and they will get a hold of me and we will go direct ASAP to get this solutions and the solutions on the table to safeguard the security of the citizens in the states, in the 50 states. Authorizations for functioning in the Now Space domain coincide in sequence with the quantum grammar in the Now Space or the frontwards and backwards sentence structure. This gives tactical command control for the soldiers and the militaries to identify, to adapt, and to sequester any problems that are out there on a global level. Or do you just want our borders to be run over? Is this the plan? Is this your plan? Because they say you have no plan. The military says, we got no plans. I know you can't think. So it's up to the people with claims of the life to go on in and tell them what to do. What I am witnessing is generals and admirals who don't care about the citizens of this country, who don't care about the flag, who don't care about their families. This is suicide. They are thwarting the very sanctuary that they grew up in. All their memories, all their joys, all their successes, all their failures, all their ability to get up from their failures and to overcome those failures and be successful. The U.S. military generals and admirals don't care. This is obvious. So somebody's got to get some courage, somebody's got to grow a backbone, and someone's got to go in there and tell them what to do. And if they don't do it, we're going to slap the cuffs on them or we're going to put bullets in them. It's the only thing they know. Rocks and shoals. Thank you for your space and consideration.